Aloha, High Vibe Tribe. Aloha, it is Pink Bella. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you, everyone. And today is April 15th, 2020. This is an energy update, and I'm recording it for you. And I will be back live soon, but I wanted to make sure that I brought this information to all of you today. So, welcome everyone. If you're new, thank you everyone who subscribes and likes my work, and thank you for giving all the videos for myself and all YouTubers thumbs up to share the light and the love as everyone is working so hard, as we know, and to bring beautiful information to you all. I am, for those of you who are new, I'm an intuitive way shower and ascension guide. I assist many souls, including twin flames, starseeds, light workers, many of you on soul mission, awakening, working with your angels, working with the 12 chakra system, activating and clearing and healing your Akashic records and bringing in information for you there. Many of you at this point are like myself. The planet is going through such a huge evolution and transformation. I was guided to show it through. And also I have a lot of information that I've been brought in the last couple days. So it's been more than an interesting time. And I was given some timelines just to go back as far as November to share with you all. And today, this video is called, it's about quantum jumping and timelines and new earth and ascension. I may change the title, but just bringing in a lot of information, a little bit for twin flames and star seeds, but you can check out the previous readings as well until it's time for me to come back and do a reading. And this is just an important download that I was going to bring in for you all from things that I've been experiencing and for things to share and help you on your journey. So welcome back, everyone. We've got a huge transformation and evolution happening here on planet Earth, no matter what country you're in, no matter how far you are on your path. And it's like I've been shown all the timelines. So there's been this whole journey, including for myself, to leave 3D, to leave 4D, leave the third dimension, leave the fourth dimension, and end up in the fifth dimension. And we're doing that. However, we're multi-dimensional, which means we're still part of those other dimensions because we agreed to come in and be ground crew and help the planet. Some of you were activated as twin flames to do this, as light workers, indigos, crystals, manifestors, magicians, those of you that are star seeds. This whole process has been, especially since 2012, has been for us to awaken our hearts, remember more of who we are and why we came, which I share often, and now is the time. Now is the time to shift from one reality to another. So today is the 15th, and we just went through in North America, I think maybe around the world. I'm not sure if everyone celebrated Easter at the same time. I believe so. So we just went through like the Easter portal. And I feel like more veils were even removed for myself through the weekend. I was guided to rest on the weekend so I could bring this information in. We are going to be experiencing another level of transformation over the coming weeks. And some of you maybe will be shocked about some things that come forward. Some of you may not, but we're to prepare for everything in all probabilities, okay? So what I'm being shown, and thank you for those of you who send videos to me as well. I did get a chance to watch a few of them, and it was important for me to have some of that information, so thank you. So we're experiencing multiple timelines at the same time. So collectively, we've all agreed to be on this timeline right now where everyone pretty well on the planet is in some type of isolation, and every country is handling it differently. However, this brings forward the law of one. We are all one. We're going through this together. But is everybody aware that we're going through it together? No. And is everyone ready? Well, many of us, including myself, we've been preparing for this for lifetimes. And let me just hold on. There was a card that I was going to show everybody that I pulled for everyone. We are the keepers of the earth. We are the keepers of the earth. And for many of you, this is why you came, including myself. We quantum jumped to this timeline to be here at this time. And we weren't even a month ago, 2 months ago, we had no idea that this is where we were going to be. However, what I wanted to let you know was that we have been preparing for this, and we're still preparing for this in our sleep and in our meditations. whether we're out communicating and being with people like we normally are. So basically, our entire reality out in 3D has been shifted. And go back a month ago when it just started here in Canada, probably just going to happen for a couple of weeks. Now I'm seeing it going into possibly June. And that's okay because I feel like what's happening is there has to be a shift on this planet for a lot of souls to shift from one timeline frequency to another for the new beginning for the age of Aquarius. So we're officially in the age of Aquarius, and this is what we've been preparing for New Earth. I think some of the teachers sort of shared with us that we could quantum jump and be in New Earth, which is true from one perspective, but we're not to leave the entire collective just hanging about. There are definitely different timelines and realities running, and I'll show you how this is all happening at the same time to give you something concrete. So 3D right now, the third dimension is where we all were. Even if we were a higher dimension, 3D was where we would go shopping and hang out with friends and go to plays, and that was the third dimensional reality of Earth, which is a very fast pace and a fun, reality to be in at times. Okay. 3D right now collectively is pandemic. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of he said, she said, pointing the finger, look what they're doing, all of that. So this is an opportunity, like I've shared in the past, to stay in your heart and work through this, okay? So 3D right now is where the conspiracy theories are. It's where the actual reality of some of this is playing out with governments, with souls. It may have even be impacting you on a personal level with yourself, with some members of your family, with people that working in the hospitals and the stores and the medics and all of that. And we are grateful for all of you that are keeping the flow going with the basic level of services that we have on the planet at this time. But basically everything from our perspective here has been shut down, including, essential travel within the country, flying anywhere on the planet. The positive side of all of this at the moment, Mother Earth is regenerating. And this is a very positive thing, being the keepers of the earth. Chemtrails gone. Animals coming into cities that have never been able to come in before, water clearing up, her lungs are clearing up, and as her lungs are clearing up, so are ours, okay? So from the perspective of watching videos and receiving information through YouTube or, the news media, whatever's being reported, yes, that is happening in 3D, okay? If anything triggers fear within you and you stay locked in that fear frequency, which is the root chakra, pulls you out of your heart, it scatters your energy, and it keeps you there. Okay, so the probability of believing it's going to happen to you if you go into a fear cycle, you based on law of attraction, you can attract that to you. This isn't to create fear for you. This is to give you power back, to give you your sovereignty back, so you will stand in your power and shift out of it. Okay. The fourth dimension is the quantum jump that we just had. So we went through a 444 portal at the beginning of April. It just completed on the 14th of April. It just completed yesterday. We went through a massive evolution and transformation. Like even myself, I am a different person than I was at the beginning of April, and I'm seeing things clearly. I've had more veils removed, and I'm able to watch all of these realities and choose which one I want to be in, without anger, without fear, without pointing fingers, and just watching it and choosing which one I want to be in, okay? So 4D is where many of you have moved into, or you're between both worlds. You might be in 5D one day, which is blissful and happy, and your heart's open, and it's like whatever's going on out there doesn't matter. Something might shift you back into 4D. 4D is where we're transmuting our fears and the shadows. If we're triggered, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no judging where you are. We flip back and forth between all of these realities every day, every moment of every day. And we also, I'm not always in 5D. Sometimes we're in higher dimensions as well. But at the moment, we're to watch which reality we're in. So 4D is where a lot of the collective has moved into. where some of the collective now is waking up in that reality. So 4D is where everyone goes through their awakening to integrate the shadow side, to start to remember, and to work through triggers and healing, okay? So some of you have been doing this for years, so you really have been in the fifth dimension. However, we're being guided to look back and see, are we still being triggered by what's happening right now? Because everything has shifted and changed so dramatically, okay? 5D, fifth dimension, is the age of Aquarius. It is the beginning of New Earth. It's not just the only dimension, but it is a dimension of reality where we as a group can manifest together and create this new Earth together. So everyone has food, everyone has water, everyone is globally working together, and that's what we're moving towards. And it's not going to be a flip of a switch overnight. It's going to be us all coming together as soul tribe and working on projects together, okay? So that's where some of us have been, but we're being sort of not pulled backwards, but we're being shown, like myself, we're being shown the other realities where we need to be aware of them playing out so we can manage that energy when we're out in the world, doing what we need to do, doing grid work, running errands, helping friends and family, and paying attention and listening to our intuition. So I watched a fantastic video yesterday of Magenta Pixie, and I'm going to review some of that information, and it's on my Twin Flame New Earth page as well, but you can check out her latest video in a mini version of how to handle what is happening at this time. So in 3D, where all the conspiracy theories are happening, yes, they are playing out. And that's why the information was brought to me, because I was gutted. I needed to see it to be reminded that now some of the things that have been talked about for years are being played out. However, it's not as if it's happened. It's not as if it's going to complete, and it's not as if everybody's just going to be told what to do and they're going to do it. So part of what's happening in 3D, if it's still triggering fear or upset or worry, to work on that on a daily basis to transmute that. So not to judge yourself, not to judge what's happening. Try not to get too wrapped up in TV or shows or even videos that might be triggering deep fears in yourself of mass takeover. And I could go into a lot of information about that, but I won't at this point. I will, however, in personal sessions and readings if you need some assistance through this, okay? But at the time being, I just want to make sure that I cover what I was given. So in fourth dimension, that's where a lot of collective is being guided to move into. So some souls are still in the third dimension, pointing fingers, angry, fearful. They did it. They started it. Our government's not doing this. That's the third dimension. And when we can bring ourselves out of it into the fourth dimension, it's like we're back in our heart, we're breathing, we're at peace, and we're seeing the triggers, knowing that they have a deeper meaning. So the triggers are from other lifetimes. The triggers are from things that have been planted in our memories from other events that have happened on this planet, from personal experience, example, 9/11, example, the Vietnam War, example, World War II, that we've either experienced or our ancestors have experienced, other pandemics, the Spanish flu, the plague, the Great Potato Famine as examples. So just other things that maybe we personally haven't experienced or maybe we have in past lives that have been triggered that we need to clear and transform. So I've seen these patterns in sessions the last couple weeks where I've shared this in previous videos where the root chakra has been a bit wobbly based on these traumas and these fears. And some of you also might be incredibly sensitive to the fear of the collective that absolutely is out there, but I want to share with you, you can transcend it because I have. So I know it's happening. I know that that is an actual reality that's happening, but it's not the reality that I'm in. I am, however, called to go to that reality, to go grocery shopping, and I seal up my light. I set the intention to raise the vibration. I can only be there for so long, but I do raise the vibration, and I act as if everything is as normal as it can be. And I smile and I connect with the souls, and bringing joy and happiness to everyone right now is super important, including yourself. Okay. In the fourth dimension, that's where you're transmuting those fears. So, you might go through the fear. You might be like a deer in the headlights, literally for like 24 hours. Maybe you go through it the next day, you're feeling a bit better, and you're like, oh, I got triggered by that. What's that all about? You could look at it and figure out where that's from and clear and heal it and move forward. This is integrating the shadow side. This is also where the collective is going to go for their dark night of the soul. So, this whole process right now, even if it was, and it could very well be, set off by Team Dark to put everybody in fear. There's so many of us collectively awake, and the new Earth grids have been activated within the Earth and around the Earth. There's enough of us now. There's enough of us here. There's enough light beings and star beings that are helping us, and angelics. There's enough energy protecting the outer planets and our outer planet areas that we just need to work through our own stuff and call them in and call in our power and our sovereignty. Okay, so that's what the fourth dimension is about. When we're finally through it and we've been tested enough and gone through enough initiations and we're no longer getting triggered, then we can remain in 5D but watch the other realities play out. Okay, so we're still ascending, we're still awakening, we're still moving into new realities and new Earth. However, we're going through like a collective and a personal accelerated transformation at this time. This is really opening up the high heart, the cosmic heart, which is in between the throat and the heart. This is the thymus. This is the immune system. So if you're triggered and you're in fear and you stay there, you will absolutely shut down this high heart area, the thymus area, the lung area, and then that will open you to not having a very strong immune system. Okay, so just not out of fear, just to give you an idea of if you see that you've been triggered, to find some tools to help you through that. And that's what I've been assisting. And thank you everyone who's booked a session, because that's what I've been guided to assist you all with at this time. Okay. Now it's interesting too, because the 5D, I was just given a funny thing today, which is not funny, but 5D rhymes with another name for 4G that we just have switched over. And that's where we're all moving to. And in actual fact, everything that's happening in the third dimension right now is accelerating our ascension, whether it was the intention or not. But it is accelerating everyone into a collective awakening. And we can work together as a team to help more of the collective awaken and to help everybody through this as best we can. Okay. This is by being calm in our hearts, working on our soul mission, moving forward in positive directions, helping ourselves, our neighbors, being kind and compassionate. Always choose peace in each moment. Always choose kindness and compassion. If there's a part of you that goes on attack to any being, I remember Dr. Wayne Dyer talking about this years ago, that he knew that if he got triggered and that his inner voice, his inner ego wanted to attack someone, he knew that there was still some healing to do. And that's where we're all at. We're not to blame any person, anyone in office, any structure, because we're all part of this collective. Whether we create it or not, we're here to help clean it up. And we're going to do that from a positive heart space and in kindness and compassion. We're going to work on that together. And just because there are powers at the moment that are planting seeds and saying, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, nothing is written in stone. There's going to be more power within all of us to do new things. I'll give you an example that they just gave it to me. So here in Canada, the powers that be would really like to hang on to the old ways of energy, even though we can all see solar power, future energy. This is the way to go, clean energy for the planet. But of course, there were other things that were in place before that. Well, I already know there were many people that left that industry way ahead of the curve, they could see the future. They could see that what they were in was dead end. They could see what they were doing was hurting the planet and themselves and the environment. And they've moved into let's go with the future. So that's where we're at right now. I just was reminded today, there's many souls out there that are making things and creating things and working on, young kids, teenagers, working on things to clean up the ocean, to clean up the air, to help help people who don't have homes, you know? So we want to, that's what we wish for, don't we? Don't we wish that everyone on the planet have a roof over their head, be able to afford, um, you know, healthy food, water, clean water for everyone? I mean, this is the time. This is the time for us all to look at that, you know, and not be so tied up just in our own little universe all the time. So that's where we're moving towards. Okay. All right. So the three, this was what I was given as well. So what we're doing is we're transmuting fears, anxiety, worries, the shadow side, and some of all of what has happened maybe have triggered more things in all of you. So be proud of yourself that you recognize the triggers, and then that you have, if you don't have tools, this is a great time to find tools to help you transmute those triggers. Okay. Once you do that, we want to claim our sovereignty. All right. So this Archangel Michael, I've been sharing this card for a long time. So it's not just being sovereign from a relationship; it's being sovereign in general, from no longer believing what we are told, going within, trusting your intuition and your guidance and where what the universe has brought you so far. Okay. So we're to claim our sovereignty, and Magenta went into this in more detail. And then once we're through that, forgive all souls through all directions of time, being grateful for everything that's happening right now. So if you can get to the forgiveness and the grateful part, the Ho'oponopono, you are at the point where you've transcended everything that's happening in the drama, and you're ready to just forgive everyone through all directions of time and be grateful even for what we're experiencing, because this is shifting my reality and yours. This really is catapulting us into the new earth reality. Okay. So when we're there, that is actually going to light up more of us to be together, to work together, to be positive, to stay calm. So as an example, be grateful if you have a roof over your head and you have food and water. You have enough. You know, there are many people out there who don't. Maybe you will be called to help the homeless. Maybe you'll be called to help the seniors. Maybe you'll be called to help a neighbor. So even though, you know, we're not supposed to go to a house that we don't belong in, but there are many people that do. Many people that are on the front line, you know, ambulance drivers, delivery people, uh, um, people who are fixing pipes. There are many people that are still going on the front line, so don't forget to trust your intuition. You have tools to protect and seal your energy and amp up your immune system before you do anything and when you finish, okay? So don't allow the power of collective fear and you know, information that's being planted to prevent you from trusting your own intuition, your own guidance. So there's going to come a time where there's going to be a need for help out in your community, and you're all preparing to get stronger to do that. All right. And you might be also receiving ideas to help the community. Um, okay. This is also, as a collective, we're lighting up the grids. Even if we're at home, we're still lighting up the grids. We're also being given an opportunity to accelerate our intuitive abilities. So give yourself permission to slow down a little bit. Give yourself permission to tap into your intuitive abilities. Use this time. You know you have a higher self. You know you have angels. You know you have a soul mission. So start working towards that. Okay. So when else are you gonna have time? Bring in that, you know, taking better care of your body, eating better, all those things that you kept thinking, I wish I had time for. Now you have time, so choose something, and work that and bring that in as a tool of balance. Okay. I just heard learn to breathe again, learn to deep breathe again, and trust and have faith. Okay. Um, okay, so I was just guided to talk about some symptoms and the light code activations. So we've been experiencing massive light code activations that have been accelerating over the years since 2012. I think I started to know about the light code activations in 2011. That's when I realized how empathic and intuitive and sensitive I was, as many of you are. I know when the portals open. I know when the ley lines activate. I had another insight. So through all of this, we've had a lot of technology changes on the planet as well. And I'm not going to label it at the moment because you all know what I'm speaking about, just because I want to make sure that this video gets out to the collective. But some of the reason that some of us have gone through incredible light code activation and symptoms for the ascension was to force us to take care of our bodies, to raise our body's vibration So we have the tools for this very time period, okay? And I also want to share with you too that the levels of radiation on the planet have increased, and they started to increase in November 2019, but I actually can trace it back now to November 2018. No, even earlier than that, sorry. I would say early that spring, like around now, April, May 2018 was when the when the radiation levels on the planet started to increase for many reasons. Okay, so it's been a whole combination of factors, but it's been this last straw that sort of cleared the way for a lot of things to happen to many of us physically. And it's connected to the new technology upgrade as well. So I think if any of you watched the last video or the video before, you'll know that I've been experiencing some allergy symptoms. It was weird because I thought that we don't really have any allergy situation outside at the moment. So I've been researching and digging into it all of my life because I was in IT. The first thing that I became incredibly sensitive to was the radiation from CRT screens. And of course, that's increased over the years. So, I would have a reaction to something. I went to naturopaths very early on. And then my body would get strong. I would go through a process of changing my diet, taking supplements, my body would get strong. Then something new would be introduced, like, going from a flip phone to the phones that we have now. Okay, so that's an example. So I started to realize, and I am getting a lot better. My body is adapting to it. I'm working with my team. I started working with my team on the weekend to help all of you. So our bodies right now are trying to adapt not only to the light codes we've been receiving, but those light codes were directing us to start taking better care of our bodies for the frequency of the planet shift, but also for the frequency that's been happening in 3D that just did a big shift. So the technology started to shift probably on a pilot project process here in Canada. I think April, May 2018, that's when I actually started to have symptoms. And I've worked with it off and on for the last 2 years. So I was guided that November 2019 was when some of this really started to take effect. It's in correlation with the timeline with the other things that are happening on the planet, okay? And it connects with everything that was happening, like all the different countries activating this new technology, raising the frequency of radiation on the planet that you maybe can't see, but some of you are so sensitive you're feeling it or you've been going through it. So I'm still recovering from it. I'm integrating it, but I'm getting much better. And I was guided that I'll probably be through in about 2 days. But that's what I realized on the weekend. I thought, oh my gosh, these symptoms are like as if I've been working 80-hour weeks on a computer. What is going on? So intuitively, some of you sent me some information via YouTube, and I did watch some of the videos, so thank you, because I knew it was important. And I did some investigation about when the timeline hit Canada, okay? So it's in correlation with my symptoms. It's also in correlation with the Schumann resonance spikes. So I feel like the first Schumann resonance spike that we really took notice of was early December 2019, and that was in correlation with some of the grids on the planet also being activated. The next jump, the really big jump, was on February 27th, 2020. That was just prior. Well, the grids probably already came online many, many places, but it was just prior to the grids being activated here locally that I was just made aware of in the last week, okay? So my body has been trying to adapt to this energy, and this energy has actually been keeping me at a lower frequency. So I've had to shift my diet. I've had to shift to different supplements and different crystals that my team's also helping me with as well. Not just physical crystals, but crystals that are being activated within my energy field to help all of you. So one of them is shungite and the other one is organite. You don't need to have those crystals. If I'm guided through the immune boost sessions, I will assist your team to help you activate them energetically. And if you have those abilities already, I would suggest that for you as well. Okay, so that absolutely is impacting your energy field, your life, and your immune system. It's connected to our devices, but it's also connected to just what's going on out there on the planet because it's been activated. So I just wanted to let you all know that you're not imagining things, and that's what that's what my body has been dealing with, and I had no idea. Like I said, until this weekend, I pieced it all together, and it's because I experienced it before. I've experienced it in other lifetimes, but I experienced it in this lifetime because I started going into IT technology when I was in my 20s, and I didn't realize how sensitive I was, and that's how I found out. Okay, so that was one thing that I wanted to share with you all, that there is a timeline, but it's also accelerating us all because now we're aware that we have the herbs, we have the crystals, we have the ability to help our bodies strengthen through this process as well. Okay? All right. Let me just make sure that I brought everything in that I wanted to. So I just wanted to share about that timeline. Okay. I'm just going to show a couple of cards that I was guided to show and share some messages. So we're going, because we're going through a lot of transformation, evolution, and a lot of the planets are shifting as well. I shared this last time, like many of the planets have moved into different signs. We have another new moon coming up, and we're going to be moving into the North Node and the South Node changing in May. We've got eclipses coming. These are absolutely connected to our chakra system, and they're going to be impacting you as well. So some of you might be really feeling like, I really felt the shift of Mercury into Aries in a positive way. I found Pisces very sleepy, so I'm starting to get my energy back and my clarity back, okay? If you're still needing a lot of sleep, if you're at that point with everything that's going on that you need to sleep, do. If you're not able to go run errands every day, don't keep, go through that period of replenishing your energy. When you're ready to move forward, ask your team and your angels and your higher self to start to bring you some sort of structure every day as well. For those of you who aren't working out in the world or who are at home and trying to feel grounded and feel focused, okay? Starseeds, this is our time. You are ground crew. You're helping with all of this on many, many levels, including while you're sleeping. And it's important right now to just really know that you're a starseed, that you're ground crew, that you came for this time period and you came to help the planet, okay? Twin flames and divine unions. Okay, so some of you very well are in separation, and if this is a union that you still wish to connect with, you absolutely can connect with the soul telepathically and heart to heart. But it's also a great time to just practice your abilities of intuitive telepathy and feeling with family members maybe that you can't see, or checking in on friends, that sort of thing. So when we're not on our devices, we're guided to work on our intuitive abilities while we're at home. Okay, it's a perfect time to amplify your intuitive abilities. But yes, divine unions are still occurring. You may have more dreams about your partnerships at this time, but it's also a time to know that right now it's just more important for you to be a sovereign being and work on your awakening, your journey, your process, okay? We still have the angels, like our planet's completely surrounded in love, and love is going to win. So that's why we get through the duality of pointing the fingers and withdrawing from the drama of what might be happening in 3D, because inevitably it doesn't matter what these other beings are doing. Love is going to win. Love is the highest frequency. And when we love them and send them love, I've decided every day I'm going to claim my sovereignty and send love and light out to all these beings. That frequency alone will shift the reality. That's how we're going to quantum jump and move as a collective. We're going to shift the timeline so we have more of the collective awakening, okay? We're still receiving light codes, and it's also just a reminder that we're, the planet, the Gaia planet, she has her own energy, and she is moving forward and asking for all of your assistance. But she's also, we're still receiving light codes from the galactic core and from this great central sun, and we're still ascending and awakening and integrating these codes, whether we're out in the world or not, okay? the pink energy of self-love. It says freedom. So, you know, keep crystals with you, work with that pink energy, and just know it may feel like you're not free right now. It may feel like everything is being contained, but you are still free. You have a free heart, you have a free mind. So just know that. Just know that you are still free. We're all still free. It just looks differently right now. But will this reality change forever? No. I feel like we're going to start doing like group quantum jumps to the next timelines as well. And I feel like many of you are cleaning up old timelines. Like, as an example, I had a dream last night where I quantum jumped to a previous timeline in the 80s, and beings from the 40s followed me, but I woke up and I remembered. And I remembered thinking I was actually doing some timeline clearing and healing, and I just sort of tidied it up today. So that's one of my magical abilities. So that's what happens. So some of you might be having a lot of very detailed dreams right now. Okay. You can also set intentions before you go to sleep to connect with your higher self and your angels and receive messages in dream time. So, like, ask them to help heal you, ask them to give you messages for when you wake up in the morning, you have guidance, okay? The other thing is that you're all receiving intuitive expansion. You all have a higher self, you all have intuition, and this is the time to start trusting it and following it, all right? Follow your intuition and your heart over everything. And that's going to lead us on our way. Okay, I'm just going to leave. I had two signs today. First one was the butterfly. So the butterflies are officially here in Vancouver, and I'm so happy when it's butterfly season. And because I saw the butterfly, I wanted to see it as a totem. It stands for joy and light. So we're to, you know, keep being the light and be pillars of light and pillars of joy. Practice that every day, no matter what you're doing. And this is the butterfly also represents transformation and new beginnings. I also saw the raven. So you as well can call in the raven energy to help you be brave enough to face your fears. So just remember not to judge yourself if you're being triggered by someone or some collective fears come up and get to you. It's once you get through it, you'll be able to heal it. Okay, so as an example, I've had family members that have transitioned through cancer, and it was very painful and very hard. But looking back on it, it was a process that myself and our family had to go through, and it actually, you know, changed me and transformed me into a more open-hearted and kind person. It's sort of like what's happening right now is anything that's not important right now, just let go and focus on what is important. Live each day to your fullest and work on things that you've always wanted to work on that will help yourself and help New Earth, okay? Yeah, so call in the Raven energy if that will help you, and also Archangel Michael and the dragons as well. The dragons are amazing. Okay, so if anyone would like to book a session or reading, check out the comments below for all the offers, including all the readings now. If you wish a healing, you can add an immune boost, or it's included. That includes color rays and balancing your chakras and balancing and activating your immune system. And if guided and you're interested, I can also assist with activating shungite to make your energy field stronger as well if you don't have access to that crystal. Okay, so just remember, I'm going to leave now. Keepers of the earth. We are all keepers of the earth. And the card actually says, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And I would say besides the ancestors, you have your higher self, you have your team of light. And collectively, we're all working together with all of our teams, okay? So remember to stay in your heart, trust and have faith, and work towards forgiving and being grateful for this current situation. And that love prevails. Love wins. Love is the highest frequency. And some of these beings don't even know what that is, but it doesn't matter. We do. And that's what's going to help us through this all. All right. I hope this helps you all. I'll be back live soon for a Q&A. Love and aloha. Please share if this resonates with you. Have a great rest of the week, everyone. Love, PinkBella. Bye.